Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik Picadian!
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. You're thrilled to death that you're listening to our show.
Yes.
We love saddling up here every week to come to you and talk about some awesome gear and some silly bits too.
What do we do on this show, Todd?
I thought that's your job.
Oh, that's my job.
Tell me your job.
Well, Todd, you know what we do? We like to talk about gear. Mm-hmm. We like to talk about people who make gear. And two people who make gear.
Uh-huh.
Specifically, boutique gear. Things like pedals and amps and guitars and, and all the stuff. And we've had authors on.
Yeah.
We've had influencers on.
Uh-huh.
And
musicians.
We get the story behind the story.
Exactly. Our goal here, when we started a long time ago, was to put a spotlight on the builders that may not normally get the spotlight.
Yeah.
And B, create a connection. We use the term of fingerprint, so that the people that are maybe interested in the gear that we're talking about might have a better reason or a connection with the person who's making it, based on their interests, based on how the interview went, based on all kinds of things. And it's just when you can have a connection with with something that you have beyond ownership, it's more meaningful.
Yeah,
frankly.
But you know what our big goal is?
No.
Our big goal is for the people that are listening out there to feel like they're in the room here with us, talking to us.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Yes.
And hopefully you feel that way. And you're just kind of listening in on the conversation. Maybe someday you'll be able to chime in a little bit.
Yes, and the person who's not here normally happens to be eating a plate of spaghetti very obnoxiously, and I wish they would stop.
Stop the spaghetti eating.
Okay, we're going to get on to some things because we've got a fantastic guest this week. Guest, who are you?
Hi, my name is Max Lord, and my company is Reflective.
Max Lord.
Does that mean everything reflects back?
Wow. See, that's don't
encourage me.
Max, don't feed the animal. We'll get into that, Tony. That's what the interview part is for. Okay.
What? I thought it was like a mirror or something.
Spilling all the beans all over the place.
I'm sorry. How about the spaghetti?
Max, where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Where in the world is Worcester, Massachusetts?
It's about 15 miles west of Boston.
Okay.
Now, is the proper pronunciation Worcester or Wooster?
Worcester.
I think you split the difference on purpose right there.
Answer the question.
Yes, no. It's, yeah.
I will say Worcester.
Worcestershire, like that.
Yes. Worcestershire. No,
Anyways.
that's a different town altogether.
Yeah. Have you lived there your whole life? Were you born and raised?
No. I grew up in the Fall River area in Mass. I've lived in the Boston area for a really long time, and I'm very recently relocated to Worcester.
Okay.
There are a lot of builders of pedals and such in Massachusetts.
Several and many.
Yes.
Lots of them.
At the same time.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I hear that there is, as I understand, there's going to be a relatively large show in Boston in the coming months. Is that correct?
Yeah. The end of August.
Yeah. That's in the coming month.
Yeah. So that's going to be in Somerville, and it's going to be an awesome show. It's being put on by our friends at Stonebox Sonic and also Cosmodia, who you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And there'll be, I think, like almost all of the New England pedal brands and guitar brands and people will be there. So it's going to be really hot, and, as well as like Earthquaker and a few other places like that.
Hot,
so,
did you mean hot like Paris Hilton says hot, or like hot? It's going to be like muggy and.
It's going to be probably on the muggy side. Yeah,
okay,
nice. That would be my guess.
Will Tom Scholes be there?
What?
Tom Scholes
Oh,
from Boston.
Oh, jeez.
I can't promise. I can't promise
Max,
that.
what did we talk
but
about
that would
earlier?
be fun. That would
Wouldn't
be
that
fun.
that would be great? I love Tom Scholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
owned the whole. I think I had all of the modules, and I had a power soak for my amp back in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
the rock
exciting.
the
That's the
Rockman
thing.
stuff. That was kind of the start of the. I would call that kind of boutique gear. It was like Tom
Yeah.
Scholes in a box.
Yeah. Rockman's cool again too. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It never wasn't, man. Okay. Well, we're going to find out all about... Oh, wait. Where can people go see the things that you make from Reflective Digital?
Yeah. My site is reflective.digital. And you can also find me on Instagram
Right.
at reflective with some underscores in it.
Yeah, there's like
For sure.
it's like a little cat cartoon thing in front of it. That's the one you want. Don't go to Reflective Audio or anything like that, like I did, and you'll find it.
Reflective girls. Don't go to
My-
that
I
one.
don't know what that is.
No. My image is a little duck. If you
A
see
duck.
the little duck,
Ah.
that's what I want.
It's a duck cat.
I think I just typed in reflective digital, and lo and behold.
Yes, but if you're not sure, it's got a duck.
But by the time people are hearing this, you'll have a
Tony,
link.
just go with it, man.
I'm sorry, Todd.
Okay, so we've got a couple announcements, and then we're going to find out all about what Max Lord has to offer. Dude, how are you not a professional wrestler, a superhero, a captain of a starship, or I don't know what else? A pitcher, maybe a major league pitcher.
Dude, I'll tell you who I am not. Another person I am not is the notable hip hop producer who uses the pseudonym Max Lord.
Oh.
Okay, so if you have just made a beat and you want to break into the business, do not send it to me.
Do you get a lot of that?
I probably have about 300 tracks.
Oh,
Shut
you've got to
up.
be kidding me.
From
You got to put out an album,
from
man.
Just throw all those demos
Yeah.
down, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, we
So-
won't be submitting any dope tracks tonight.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But we are going to talk about a couple of announcements. We got some big ones.
Tell me.
Okay, so a little bit on the gullet thing.
Yes.
We're still working it out because what we found out is that charity giveaways can be very, very sticky.
Yes.
And we're trying to navigate that so we can do this cleanly. So your patience is appreciated. More to come. Nobody's missing anything yet.
I tell you what, let's just scrap the whole thing. Chase can give me that guitar, and we'll call it a day.
Right. Yes. I'll run that past him. Also, I want to bring up the Midwest Pedal Fest.
Oh yes,
There should be a Midwest Metal Fest. I mean, that just rolled off my tongue.
Yes.
There's the metal
Maybe they'll have a
community's
metal
missing
fest at
out
the
on that.
Pedal Fest.
Yes.
Metal Fest at the Pedal Fest.
Only if someone's bringing a pedal board full of all metal zones.
Ooh.
But it's going to be amazing. If you go to Midwest Pedal Fest, you are going to see a staggering amount of builders that you are familiar with. I would say at least 80% of them have been on the show.
Oh yeah. And the other 20% are just dying to come on.
Well, I don't know about that, but we're going to try to make sure we get them.
When is this event?
This is August 8th in
August 8th?
Detroit.
Whoa, that's
And it's-
coming right up.
And save your dollars because
Why?
Well,
How much does it cost to get in?
well, it's free to get in, but
What?
but maybe you can buy some pedals.
oh.
That's what I'm saying. Did I mention it's free to get in?
You just said that.
I did. It is
I'm shocked.
free to get in.
You're telling me all of these great builders are going to be
Yes.
there. It's in Detroit Rock City at the beautiful Majestic Theater.
That's right.
And it's free to get in.
That's right. And bonus, we are going to be there with 2 pedal boards.
2.
One from all our friends from across the channel,
The pond.
in the pond, whatever you want to call it. That's yeah. Anyways, UK, Europe. That's going to be on one board, and
Yeah.
then just some other builders that maybe aren't there.
Yeah.
are probably going to be on the other. That's the way we're planning it right now. One of those for sure will be there, but hopefully both. and a couple of guitars that we've been talking about.
Oh, yes. I'm told that they will be there as well.
Yeah, and this is all headphones.
Yeah.
So if you're just walking around, it's just going to sound like... Yeah. But that's cool because then you can actually hear what the effects are doing.
Yeah.
And meet all the people who are building. It sounds great. It's going to be great. We're looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to that.
Okay.
Road trip.
Yes. Now I have one more thing. We got a really great note from a former supporter of the show, Mike D., also known as Mike DeLuccio. But I will say that I had recently purchased an exclusive release album from the Mike D., Michael Diamond. And
from the Beastie Boys.
From the Beastie Boys. I'm a big fan of the Beastie Boys, and I was very excited, and I got it. And then I got this email, and it said Mike D in it. And I was like, how did Mike D get my email? This is sick. Now, Mike DeLuccio, forgive me, I was a little bit extra excited that it might actually be Michael Diamond.
But you were just as
Not
excited
Clarence.
that it was Michael.
Yes,
Mike
especially
DeLuccio.
after I read the note. Here it is. Max, do you want to read this? No?
I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's a poor excuse.
Yeah, I'll whisper in your ear and you just say it in the mic. How about that? No, here we go. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I hope life is treating you well. It's been a whirlwind of these past couple years. I finally settled down and became a dad. Very cool.
Congrats.
Very, very cool. Dadness is awesome. But also had some on and off health issues related to nerves and spine that made it tough to keep playing and gigging regularly. Lots of challenges, but also lots of joy.
Nice.
I just wanted to give a huge thank you to you and the crew, Tony.
That's me.
For continuing to do such a great job with the podcast. It's been one of those elements in my life that always brings consistent comfort and inspiration.
Huh.
I also like being part of the global community of people I've never met. That is very true.
Yeah.
On that note, I really appreciate the GP5 recommendations. This is the Valaton GP5. You've heard us
GP5.
talk about this a few times.
We've heard you talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. For me, for the bits of time I get to play, it's been the perfect tool. I'm beyond impressed. I've had mine since last September and still makes me smile. Even the stock models and IRs are great. I've uploaded a few others into it, but didn't need to do too much. Of course, there is no substitute for having the real physical pedals and amps and also supporting the small builders. But the Valaton is something that builds inspiration and hopefully makes many of us want to explore more gear.
Cool.
Anyways, I hope to eventually get back on the patron train soon. Onwards and upwards. Well, we hope that too. Michael DeLuccio, Mike D., thank you so much for sending that note. It was really, really appreciated. These are the things that we never see coming and always really do make our day. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. And the real Mike D., Michael Diamond, if you're out there and you want to send me an email, I'm all for it, man. Let's talk. Okay. Now, let's get on with the rest of the said show. We've got some things to talk about, what's going on in our music world this week, and we're going to hear from Tanya Bolonsky first.
Me?
Yeah. Oh, I thought of something last night.
Yeah.
Max and I were chatting, and we were just having some laughs. And I said, if Tony was like in a metal, like an early 80s metal band, and he wanted to be like all cheeky and stuff, and he thought, oh, I'll be Tony Felony. And I was like, but then actually everybody just called him Tony Filoni. That came into my head. Max basically hung up shortly after that.
Well, rightly so.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what's in my head. Go.
Okay. Well, in my musical world this week, I have been reading through a new book called Blow by Blow, the Jeff Beck story by Brad Talinsky and Chris Gill, who will be on a show in next week or two or three.
One or two or both.
I have to say, I am thoroughly enjoying reading this book. I I'm not a huge Jeff Beck fan. I mean, I appreciate all the stuff that he did with the Yardbirds and the solo stuff and everything else in between.
You mean as a person or as a musician?
As a musician. I don't know well enough to judge him as a person. I'm judging by musicianship. I think I've always felt that Jeff was kind of the Miles Davis of rock guitarists.
Yes, I love that. That is a great example.
Yes,
that's
why I said it.
A savant.
I mean, he is truly. What's really interesting is
an enigma.
As I wrapped in a conundrum. What's really cool is since I've been reading this, and it's taking me a little bit longer to read because Brad and Chris throw in really a lot of details about the recordings and tracks and different things like that, some of which I forgot about. So as I'm reading, I'm going back and now listening to a lot of the Yardbird stuff and the Jeff Beck stuff. And it's really cool, and I'm learning a lot of stuff that either I had mishmashed in my head, or not the timeline was slightly off, or well, in some cases, greatly off. But it is kind of interesting. They don't really pull punches, and apparently back then, Eric Clapton did not have the nicest of reputations. He was apparently quite full of himself.
Yes, and blow.
Yeah, yeah, that too, and vitamin H. But the timeline, that part of it made sense. But as Clapton wanted to make the Yardbirds, or keep the Yardbirds, kind of a blues band.
Uh-huh.
And I forget which blues player said it best, but it might have been, no, it wasn't Muddy, but it was one of the guys, and they actually, the Yardbirds backed a lot of blues players in England.
You gonna tell us the whole book, Tony?
Yeah, I am, but this isn't in the book.
Okay.
But whoever this blues player was said the Yardbirds wanted to play the blues real bad, and that's how they played the blues. Real bad.
Real bad. Yes.
But, after Clapton left, I didn't realize that Jimmy Page was the one.
You are going to tell us the whole damn
I'm going
book.
to tell you apart.
Okay.
Stuff that I had mixed up in my mind.
All right.
So, but Jimmy said, I want to keep doing my studio gig stuff. So how about?
Yeah, because he was just a studio musician.
He played on a
I don't
lot
know
of.
if you know that, Tony.
Really? I'm going to have to dig into that a little deeper. Yeah. He said, I've got my buddy Jeff here. He's a really good guitar player. Why don't you let him try out? And so Jeff takes the guitar player spot. And I had always thought there was a period, and there was a period where both Jeff and Jimmy were playing with the Yardbirds, but that didn't happen until much later. When the Yardbirds bass player quit after a really bad gig, Jimmy Page happened to be there and says, well, I could play bass. Huh. So there you have Jimmy Page, probably one of the greatest guitar players of all time.
Yeah.
Playing bass.
Well, why not?
But it's really interesting.
It's easier. It's just 4 strings.
Yeah. I don't have to bend them nearly as far.
I'm just kidding. Put your rocks down.
But it's really it's a interesting and easy read, and about halfway through it. And I can't wait to talk to these guys when they come on the show. But in the meantime, if you are at all interested in Jeff Beck or the Yardbirds or that era of music, it's a great book to have.
Well, Max, since you asked, we do have 2 copies of this.
2 copies,
that
you say?
we will be giving away.
One of them was
signed. Both of them are signed.
Will this one be one of the ones that I'm reading?
No, that one's ours.
Oh, okay.
Chris Gill sent 2 copies, signed with a doodle in it, even. And so we're going to save one for the 500 giveaway, but we're going to give one. We're going to give this one away after we're done with this stretch of giveaways. Be patient. It's coming.
You love your giveaways, don't you?
I do. I do. Max, yeah. It's time to cut Tony off. Let's talk about what's going on in your music world, maybe that isn't around building pedals.
Or blow by blow.
Or making a hip-hop career.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. In terms of, I got a tune I've been listening to that I think is kind of interesting. I listen to a lot of jazz these days. A lot of the artists I find pretty interesting who are sort of in orbit around Bill Frisell and like that type of group
Oh,
of
he's the greatest.
musicians. Yeah.
Bill Frisell, yeah. Do you? I know. I listen to a lot of jazz too. I'm just curious. Like when you said Bill Frisell, that's usually the era that I'm kind of not actually listening to. I'm more. I dig the earlier bop stuff and the up to the early mid '60s. But are you sort of a all encompassing jazz connoisseur or more of a fusion type dude?
So I like I played drums for a long time, so I think like playing like bebop is really fun.
Yeah.
But like it's not what I like to listen to at all. Like I gotta prefer more modern jazz or more out there stuff or freer stuff. Yeah. So this record is actually a Jacob Bro record. There's like a couple like duets with him and Bill on it, and there's this one tune where they do the same tune twice on the record. It's like an acoustic version that's pretty like straight ahead, and then they do an electric version to close out the record. And again, it sounds kind of like they're playing the tune again, but with Telecasters, instead of. But then like the second half of it just like gets weird, like in a really fun way. Like they play through all the changes, and then you hear them playing through it again. But you're like, wait, no, it's in a looper now, And then like one of the guitarists starts like making spaceship noises on top of it, and then like the loop kind of falls apart, and then like the one of them switches on a ring modulator and like it gets like robot sounds, and then the whole thing just kind of like crumbles like to end the record. And it's really fun because there's absolutely nothing on this record that like prepares you for the fact that that's going to happen or like that's going to close it out. Like it's pretty like straight up until that point. So I really enjoy those like just kind of like surprises when you're listening to something and you're just like, wait, where did we go?
Yeah.
So I think that tune was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay. Tony, say it. Say it, Tony.
Oh, Todd, what's going on in your musical world this week?
Well, little bit of a surprise this week. I was in Chicago on business. And I was sitting there, doop, and I got an announcement, and I went ping, and I checked it, and like I honestly couldn't breathe for about a minute, because I found out that we hit 1 million downloads.
Did you say 1 million
1
downloads?
million. In fact, they didn't tell me until we were already at 1,009,000, something like that.
Holy cow!
I know.
That's
a
hard.
million downloads, man.
So we've been doing this 10 years?
10 years.
So that's
pretty easy math, Tony.
That's 100,000 downloads a year on average.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't think there were that many people
it was a
in the
slower
world.
start, so the later ones have come.
I mean, obviously. Well, the ones since I've been on.
Yes. that is true. That's true. So, yeah, I was just absolutely dumbfounded because we were...
Were you gobsmacked?
I was gobsmacked. Yes. I was befuddled, betwixt.
Bewildered?
When we were just all talking, and I just went silent in there, and they saw my face, and they're like, "Oh, dude, are you okay?" Like what's going on?
Did
I'm
Todd
like,
just have a stroke?
And I'm like, in a real small voice, I'm like, hey, we just hit 1 million downloads. And it was just surreal. It is surreal. I remember vividly coming home, and I couldn't wait to tell my family, is like, we have 100 down. There are 100 people around the world that have downloaded our thing, and I was just blown away. This is early on, and
you're talking about the early days.
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, there's 100 people that said yes. This is pretty good.
Huh.
And then now it's hard to believe. It really is.
Yeah.
And, I think it would be very easy to go to feel like, just la, 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 check us out. We're la, la, la. But honestly, I'm quiet. I was just like, wow. I thank you all.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Thank you, each and every one of
Yes.
you who have chosen to listen to Tony
God bless you.
and me and the others, the professor, Marianne,
Yeah, and
Ginger,
the rest.
because it means a lot to us to do this show, and the reflection is that it is mutual, and we appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, if I had $1 for every episode, oh boy.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's the only harsh realization, because I'm like, in the early days, there wasn't anything in this. There still kind of isn't.
Well,
but
it's nice.
unless you're Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that was a great big surprise, and that filleth my cuppeth.
Your cup runneth over.
Yes. All right, now. The other thing that happened is my pedal board went a little haywire, and I had to pull everything apart. But good thing is I had a whole bunch of great cables to put it all back together with.
What kind of cables are you
These
using?
are Tour Gear Designs patch cables.
Did you say Tour Gear Design patch cables?
Yes, I did. And now it's been said twice.
Wow.
And I can't express enough how much we like these. You need some. You need some for your board. And as soon as you go out and you get one of these here reflective digital pedals, you're going to say, doggone it, I need some more cables.
There's 4 jacks on the back.
There's 4 jacks on this. We'll get into why. And so go to the website.
Go.
Download. You just get a whole bunch of...
Load up the cart.
Just get a bunch.
Load it up till you can't stuff
right.
any more in.
And then go hit purchase. But... Just
you
wait.
guys said there was a discount.
It happens after you hit the buy thing. Then you get the little window that says, would you like to input your coupon code? At which point you're going to say what, Tony?
The guitar knobs, all lowercase, all one word.
And you're going to save 15% on your order.
Wait,
and
did you say 15%?
I did say 15%.
These are already reasonably priced cables.
Beyond that.
Yeah.
Yes. And anyways, this is all due because of Tour Gear Designs patch cables. We thank you for sponsoring our 4 on the Floor.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor. Okay. Max Lord from Reflective Digital. What is your 4 on the floor?
Okay. I got 4 cool pedals here for you. The first one, I have to go with something from my local homies at Electronic Audio Experiments.
Who runs that company?
Mr. John Snyder.
I
Dr.
thought so.
John Snyder.
Drink.
So, no, really. All of those guys were actually a big inspiration on me to take the leap into doing this for real. So I love what those guys make, and I don't have any. I have almost no interest in making my own dirt pedals at this point because they have so many good ones.
Yeah,
I don't even know where to start. So the pedal of theirs that I have been using the hell out of is the Mother preamp, which is actually made by Science Amplification. It's sold by Science Amplification, but it is designed and built by EAE. And so this preamp is based on the Mother amp that Science makes, which is kind of like a high watt style amp, I guess. And this is the the preamp section of that amp.
that's
and
cool.
Pretty much perfectly implemented. All analog. And it is in terms of this type of an amp in the box kind of pedal, I just don't for what I need, I don't know how you would improve on this pedal. Honestly, like it just does this so well. It can be like super clean or like super gainy or like everything in between. Like, it's just like a lot of fun. So that is like my favorite kind of gain and dirt thing right now.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
How about number two?
Number two, yeah. So this is also something that I use a lot. This is the Eventide H90 pedal.
Nice.
So this is a really cool pedal. It does so much, and I've used like Eventide rack units like for a long time and stuff like that, and so I just kind of love what they do in general.
I think that's such an underrated pedal. It kind of came out like at the height of all the Strymon stuff and the Stomp stuff, and I feel like it just kind of got a little bit eclipsed by all of the multi effects units that came out at that point in time, all the Maris stuff. But that H90 is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I love how I don't need to have like a lot of other stuff on my board. Like when I actually perform, like I like to have a small board, and like it just like a little bit of dirt in front of it. I use that. I use like the mother, the H90, and one of my reverbs, and like that's enough for me. Like
Yeah.
So I got everything I need there. So so I love that. Number three, this pedal is super fun. It's from Lantern Manufacturing.
Oh yeah, they've been on the show.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. This is their Verbena pedal, which came out last year, I think. It's a reverb pedal, but it's like a radically different reverb pedal from like the type that I usually work on. So it's really fun. Like in the way, like all of their pedals, they use like really kind of like 80s era, like sort of obsolete digital technology to make everything, and they have a really fun way of putting it together. So it's just like super glitchy, like it's a reverb, and like ostensibly it's a reverb, but like for me it's like a lo-fi, like glitchy, like weird reverse, like kind of pedal, like sort of thing, which is just really fun. I love how it like, I love how it, it reverberates, but it like also like it just like kind of wrecks things in some interesting ways. So that is a really fun pedal.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the rest of their stuff is very, very, very usable. I guess that's one of the best ways to play it.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, here's 16 different things that you can do with a single knob or something like that.
No, it's like it's sort of unassuming looking, but there's really a lot going on, and like they're really well thought out and everything. So they're really, really cool lineup of pedals, and they're still pretty small, so some of them are hard to get your hands on. So if you see one, I'd grab it. Cool. The last thing I got here is
what's number 4, Max?
All right. So I'm bending your rules a little bit, and that this is something that's not on the floor. It's in a rack, but it's a great piece of guitar gear. And this is called the Pendulum SPS1. And so this company, Pendulum Audio, they made I say like mic preamps and compressors and like really nice studio equipment for a long time. This was their first product, and their idea behind this thing was to be the ultimate unit if you need to play acoustic guitar on stage and like amplify it like really well. So that's actually like kind of a hard problem. And so like some players use mics, some players use piezo pickups. Some players use, magnetic pickups, or like some combination of all of those things, right? So they made this box to do everything. It's a mic preamp. It's an instrument preamp. It's everything. You can plug anything into this thing. It's got 2 channels. It's got an incredible EQ on both sections, so you can blend any mic or anything just to get exactly the sound you want. Like there's no opinion about what your guitar is going to sound like. It just gives you all the tools to make whatever sound you can think of.
I'm looking at a photo of this right now, and it's got is that a 3-band or 3 parametric EQs for low, mids, and highs?
Yeah, they're fully parametric and everything. So like the shape of the bell and everything. So it's like like there's no pedal that would have like it's more EQ than you would get on like a large format mixer. Actually, like it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah,
it's a no excuse rack.
Yes.
Yeah, this thing is nuts. They haven't made them in a long time. It's a vintage unit, but if you find one, it's pretty awesome.
Now, do you use that? How are you using that? Because you don't have your board going. Is that just what you like? Are using it like at home or?
No, I use that like in a little rack, for gigging. So like you plug my guitar into it, plug a mic into it, plug like a contact mic into it, whatever, and then have it has like effects loops and inserts and stuff, so you can plug your whole board into the thing. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I feel like that's like the second or third rack unit that has been brought up in the last several months. Rack is back, I guess.
Rack is back,
baby. Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff floating around out there that people have like kind of maybe forgotten about.
Oh yeah.
Maybe now's the time to snatch it up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a pretty spanky 4 on the floor. 3 of whom have been on the show, and that's
more of a 3 on the floor, 1 in the rack.
Yes. That's okay. Okay. We need to find out all the great things about Mr. Max Lord, and we're going to find out specifically about what he does with these pedals and how he started doing all these pedals. First, since you mentioned all of your gear as far as your pedals and stuff, can you tell us a little bit about like what your main, I guess, rig is, if you will?
Yeah, I don't know if I have one. I really kind of don't play like guitar as like my primary instrument. Like it's something I've come to recently. So,
okay.
I sort of like I played percussion for a long time. I played mallet percussion. I played a lot of analog synths and stuff like that. So a lot of keyboards and a lot of electronic stuff. So, and I love to use like weird, when my performances now, I use like all like contact mics and weird noisemakers and all kinds of stuff. So like, that's why I like to have like a unit that you can like plug literally anything into. So like, whatever I feel like playing, can go into that. But so that's some of that stuff, a small board and a nice big PV amplifier. That's generally my regular rig.
Which PV amplifier?
I have a stereo chorus 400.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Oh yeah,
that's bass amp, isn't it?
No.
It's like a jazz chorus, but it's like
that's what I meant.
Yeah, by bass amp he meant jazz chorus. Yeah, Todd. Yeah. Hey, I've got some swampland in Arizona for sale. You want to buy?
I got a lot of money.
You could play bass through it, honestly. Like it's chunky. It's like a better jazz chorus in my opinion. Maybe someone will burn me for that.
Wow.
But, it's like louder. It's like heavier. It actually has a usable distortion. The chorus sounds awesome. Like it's just like even bigger and meaner jazz chorus, basically.
Okay.
Is that a 212 amp?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
I was really hoping you were going to say a single 15.
Single 8.
Yeah.
It's heavy enough as it is with 212.
Yeah. What about what kind of guitars are you playing?
I have a pretty modest guitar collection. I have
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I have like a Squier Jazzmaster that is kind of like my project guitar. So that's the thing that I like have fun with. Like I've like ripped everything out of it and replaced everything in it several times, and it's like like me figuring out how to like work on guitars basically. So that thing's been through a lot.
I feel like anytime you hear PV amp, you hear Jazzmaster after that. Like, there's something about that combination that we've heard again and again on the show. Yeah.
My approach like to a PI Jazzmaster was kind of like maybe more of like a Sonic Youth style Jazzmaster. Like you just take everything out of it and it's just make it really bright and loud.
Yeah.
So it was that. That was fun, and then about Jaguar as well.
Oh, nice.
Which I got from someone else in a trade, and they had put some like really cool like gold foil humbuckers in it, and did some other mods. So it's like it's pretty weird Jaguar now, but like it's really really nice guitar. So that's more like that's just more like a traditional
it's been
guitar,
personalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's great though. Yeah.
So you're an offset guy.
So far, yeah, that seems to be what I'm drawn to.
That's cool.
Nice.
So, well, thanks for sharing all that. And I think now we have a little bit better idea of, what kind of things you might be. It's not always a direct correlation, but it does help sometimes try to figure out, like, well, why did you make this pedal, or this, other whatever.
Yeah.
So, may I ask you, because based on this pedal, it seems that you have quite a command of the electronic/digital realm. Do you mind sharing what you is this your daily? This is your day job, or do you have a day job, or what's your status here?
Yeah, no. My day job is writing software and stuff. Yeah, that's not music software.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I've done a number of different things. Along those lines. A long time ago, I worked for Berkeley College. A long time ago, actually.
Oh.
So I helped them start the online program that they have. Like quite a while ago. So like we built like all the technology that they needed to to teach music online, and that was like that was quite a while back.
Yeah,
so,
that would have been like probably in the late '90s then, right?
It was like around 2001 when it launched.
Yeah. Okay. So right about that time.
Yeah. But so like there wasn't a lot of off the shelf stuff to run a music school on the internet back then. So we sort of invented a lot of that stuff. So it was cool. Yeah, and I've done lots of other things like that.
So you must have been well along in the early days to be good enough to do that. Have you always been messing around with that kind of stuff, or did you just fall into it late in life?
Yeah, no. I probably probably started writing code when I was like in fourth grade, something like that, like in elementary school. And,
Nerd.
it takes a while to get good at this stuff, Yeah.
That's amazing, though. That young and writing code. What were you writing? What language at that time?
It wasn't good code. It's like trying to write like a game in BASIC or something like that.
Add these numbers together.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. Ralph, little Ralph Wiggum came to mind from The Simpsons, and he's like, "Hey, what are you making there, Max? I like cheese." I made a website to take down helicopters. What? Oh boy!
Oh my God.
Well, that's cool. So yeah, you are you have some technical brains in there. So I'm sure going from writing software to figuring out how to plug in components probably wasn't too big of a stretch, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I got into electronics later on when I started working in recording studios and like building recording studio stuff. So that was like kind of just like, oh my God, I need to fix all of this broken stuff, because I was, I wanted to buy a mixing board that was like, 25 years old or something, right? Because I thought it was cool, but
yeah,
you gotta, so you end up working on stuff. And the studio that I had, I built a large modular synthesizer that was in that. So that was like a little bit before it was, you could just go out and buy a modular. It's like you can now, which is cool. So that was like, I built like 30 modules from kits and stuff that you could get back then. Yeah.
See, this is so crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever we have somebody on, we're like, hey, look at this. This is a pretty neat pedal. Hey, so how did you learn how to do these? Well, I built recording studios and I wrote the entire software foundation for the Berklee School of Music. But other than that, I've done some kits too. What? Jiminy Christmas.
The stuff is, I actually think like making pedals is,
jeez.
Yeah.
The stuff is relaxing in comparison to some of the stuff I've had to do, let me tell you.
I can imagine.
So all of this stuff, studio stuff, working on building things, how does that now translate into the pedal that we have here in front of us, which, by the way...
It seems inspired.
Yes, it's...
this is a hell of a pedal.
This is the Chambers C2.
Yes.
That we have here in front of us. And why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about that?
Well, tell them what it says at the top. What does it say at the top?
It says it's a portable resonant environment.
Yes.
In other words, you can define your space.
Yes.
Portably.
Indeed. So what was the genesis of this pedal, my friend?
Yeah, so it really started with what I needed or I thought I needed, because I didn't have a company yet when I started working on this, so I was kind of just working on it for myself, right? So, in my studio, I had plenty of incredible reverbs that I had access to use, but and I knew what a good reverb would sound like, right, from being in that environment. But I didn't have enough stuff that when I performed, I didn't really have pedals and stuff that did what I wanted. So I was kind of missing that sound in that environment, and so what Chambers kind of turned into eventually was kind of a reverb that has the sound of a modern studio reverb, but it has the usability and the simplicity of an analog guitar effect, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's four knobs and a toggle switch and a foot switch, right? So
it seems very simple on the
yeah.
outset. If you're just looking at it, you're like, okay, what's the big, what is this going to do? The simplicity of design, which I did really appreciate reading through what you have bothered to write, a pretty fair amount about this on the website. I was struck by, as I started using it, I said, wait, I need to find out a little bit more about this because this seems to be doing a whole lot more than I'm led to believe. And that's when I went to check out the website. I, like many, just like to dive in and go, well, what's this do first? And I was struck by, you really do kind of lead off with, like, I appreciate simplicity, which comes through in the actual topography and the tactile nature of all these things. But there's a lot going on in here. I don't know if you're aware.
It's definitely, a lot of like kind of novel things had to be invented to kind of tie those two things together, right? To make, something that, didn't have like 1,000 parameters, right? Like a rack reverb or something, right? But still let you, really be able to dial in like a space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are sort of novel algorithms that have different ways of controlling the room that like other reverbs don't have. So that's sort of like a lot of the, that's sort of why the behavior of like an experience of using it is, I think, kind of surprising because it doesn't work like other reverbs.
No, it really doesn't. It's highly dependent on the interaction between the other bits that you have going on. And for me, and I believe the same as Tony can speak for himself, but that is always an actual delight when you go, I'm not exactly sure what this is going to do, and you're then forced to begin interacting with it in different ways. And I think all too often we see a pedal, we can read what the knobs say it does. We have an idea of what it might do, and we kind of set it to where we think it should be, and we're like, okay, is that it? And a lot of times we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
But this begs you to play with it.
Oh, you play it, yeah, and all of the controls are very interactive. And yeah, that was one of the things that really impressed me is just by moving a couple of knobs and very subtly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it not going from 0 to 10.
Yeah.
It's
all knobs are interactive, but what we're saying is it's the stuff the stuff when you're doing those incremental adjustments that
the
you
subtleties.
see. Whoa. You noted that there's a specific inspiration for this on the site. Do you want to talk about that really quick?
Yeah, the Lucia stuff. Yeah. So Alvin Lucia is
Alvin
like
Alvin Lucier.
Lucia, yeah.
Okay.
So he's like just a huge figure in 20th century music, especially in like New England amongst like a community of experimentally minded musicians in New England. And he was just really influential on a lot of people. So he wrote a lot of compositions. The one he's most probably famous for is like, I'm sitting in a room, he recorded the sound of his voice on a tape machine, played it back into the room, recorded that again, played it back into the room, recorded it again. And basically the whole composition is just like listening to sort of like a reverberant loop become more and more reverberant. But all of his pieces were kind of, the one he didn't often care so much like what music you played. It was like about how it was projected into the room, or like how it was experienced or something. So like it's just really fascinating. So he had this piece was called Chambers, from the 60s, and it's a text score, so it's just a description of how to perform the piece, right? There's no music written out. He just basically says, gather any like resonant objects, and it's a really long list of possible things that you could choose to gather, and then he's like, activate them. Right. And then another really, really make them sound, he says. Right. And so then there's like another page of possibilities for like what you could do to make these objects sound, strike it, yell at it, dance on it, whatever. And then there's a little bit of text at the end that tells you not how to perform the piece, but how to listen to it.
Yeah.
Which is really like, kind of, I thought like really fascinating. Like he had a way that he performed this piece, which was really specific, but it's not in the score. You just had to like, if you were part of it, you would know how he did it.
Yeah.
But it's not in the score. And but what is in the score is about how to listen to the sounds in the environment that they're happening in.
Yeah.
And so it's a really funny thing that you kind of, if you're working on a reverb, you spend a lot of time just kind of like sitting there with an instrument or test tones or whatever, just making like little clicky sounds.
Yeah.
And then like hearing how they bounce around. And like, it's like basically like you can spend days listening to like little clicks like reverberate like in your headphones, like while you're trying to make this thing sound right. And it's like Alvin actually wrote pieces that sounded like that. Like
wow.
Because he was fascinated with that stuff. So like he wrote pieces that were like, you'd go into a big room with like a thing that made clicky sounds and send people out there, and people would listen to something that sounded like this. Wow. So I was kind of remembering all these things when I was working on it, and so I just got into a big period where I was like rereading all of his writings and stuff like that. And made it as a little bit of a tribute to that.
If I'm not mistaken, I might be getting this mixed up, but I know he did some vocal pieces, and I'm pretty sure that at the end of one of his maybe lesser known ones, at the end, he basically just kept repeating live, love, laugh until it started to self-oscillate. And I think he hasn't really been credited with that statement.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it came from. And then all the Airbnb people said, well, we love this guy. So that was
he did despite like being known for these more technical geeky things, he actually did write a lot of like really poetic stuff. Actually, he definitely had that side of him.
Awesome. Well, I just love that you can cite an actual inspiration for this. Very cool.
Yeah, it is.
So this is Tony. Tell us about your interaction with this, and then we're going to start getting into some of the specifics here.
Well, as we talked about earlier, it's definitely a pedal you're going to want to spend some time with. Play around with the knobs.
Not because it's complicated.
No.
Because you want to.
No, because it's one of those pedals that really does entice you to make different sounds with. I found it to be very controllable. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a really great sounding reverb. Even if you just use it in the basic mode, but you can custom tailor it using.
If you can find the basic mode, that's kind of the neat thing. Is that it's not a typical one where you're like, okay, this does this, bloop.
Yeah, this is my spring reverb from a 65 Twin. No, but it was kind of cool. I mean, in my interaction with it, I was only running it mono, so I didn't have a chance to do you can run stereo in, stereo out, if you so choose, or mono in, stereo out, which I think probably, especially if you have 2 amps on
Pretty
spaced
cool.
apart, it would. I imagine it would be incredible. But all that being said, I just found it to be just a joy to play with.
Indeed. Now you have on this, we've got blend, which blend in the first position was a little, I was like, okay. Tone, density, and size. And then you also have a little toggle here. I do love a mini toggle. And that toggle goes from natural, echo, space, and constant. Then there's a foot switch. Now, which thing do you think does the most stuff on here? You might be right in guessing the foot switch.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that really quick. This is you've been very clever in your design of this.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think that I think what you're alluding to comes from is like all the different ways that you can blend and mix in the reverb. A lot of times I think people disregard like how important like the just little quality of life, like technical details are about like how a pedal works in your setup, right? Like can really mean like whether you use it or not. Like and like when it comes to deciding whether you can play this thing in front of people or not. So the blend is like one of those things. I think it has to be just right to have the right feel for people, where it's like hard to make something like this work for them.
Well, most people think
so,
that
like,
blend is just going to be, I'm going to get more of the wet or I'm going to get more of the dry.
Yeah.
In most instances. But your foot switch is controlling 3 completely separate ways for that blend mode to actually behave.
Yeah. So that's a mix of like, so that, you can, in one mode, you can turn the switch off and the reverb will just disappear completely, right? Like right away, instantly. And then in the other mode, you have tails. It'll fade out when you take the switch off. It will, whatever room you're in, will just kind of, nicely fade away. And then in both of those modes, it really, your dry signal is just not touched at all, right? So it's like, it doesn't get any quieter. It doesn't go through any extra circuitry. It doesn't go through the DSP. It just goes kind of straight through. So I think, it's meant to be a hi-fi pedal for people who care, about, the integrity of their signal. So
I think that's a really key thing, because I know that some blend knobs that I've played with, when I'm like, cool, blend, there's no volume, but all right, I guess I got to use the blend as the volume. And then I start saying, yeah, let me have a little bit more of the wet. I feel like I start losing dry signal, like, and not by overtaking it, but
it's more of a fader.
It's more of a fader between the two. Yeah. And this doesn't do that.
Yeah, that also plays into like how much overall headroom the pedal itself has, right? So like reverb pedals like actually generally are like the last thing on your board, or like towards the back anyway, right? Yeah. So you have all the level from all your other pedals, okay? Yeah. Blasting into that thing. It's the last thing, right? And so if that pedal can't handle like, all those other pedals in front of it, it's gonna fall apart, right? And for digital pedals, that can be tricky to manage the headroom, right?
It's like being the first one into a crowded elevator.
Yeah, exactly. And like pedals are like louder than they used to be. Like a lot of boutique pedals are like crazy these days. Like all the EAE pedals, like they can blow up anything.
Yeah.
They're just like ridiculous. So some people want to play them at at that level. So I think that's one thing that I heard from people that they really dug, was that they could really like turn up and it didn't fall apart, like just kept working.
and you compensated this, right? With the power, you've compensated the power, right? Did I read that correctly? 18-volt rails.
Yeah. So there's like like voltage doublers and stuff inside it. So it has like higher power rails than 9 volts. Yeah.
Yeah. Rails, man. Rails.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just the foot switch, people. and a little bit about the blend that you got into. I think one of the can you tell us about like who might be using so like blend mode 1 being the analog mode. Who's using that?
Yeah, so that's kind of like, that's sort of for the person who wants the absolutely like the cleanest, most pristine signal so that their dry guitar signal doesn't sound messed up at all, right? And then when they turn the pedal off, there's absolutely no noise from any of the other circuitry or anything, right? Like it's just like kind of out. So that's kind of like the mode for the player who wants something like that. And then the other modes are for like more creative uses.
Gotcha. Now you have one of these that we didn't really talk about, the digital crossfade. That's mode 3. I think that's interesting because you were talking about different instrumentation and maybe it's not guitar.
Yeah, sure. And like with some other instruments, sometimes like really, really wet sounds are awesome, right? Or even 100% wet sounds. So you do want to be able to get into that territory. So that mode lets you, actually pull the dry signal down or all the way down. So you could use it also as an aux send off of your mixer or something like that in that configuration. So it's kind of like, you could just hook it up to your mixer like that and mix a band or a record or something with it.
Mm-hmm. Or if you happen to be DJing in Ibiza next weekend, this might be a nice thing to bring along.
Yeah. I have used it not in Ibiza, but in surprising places. Just because it was like easier to set up than figuring out how to use like the reverb on like a Behringer digital mixer or something like that, right? It was like easier to just plug this thing in.
Sure.
So yeah.
Okay, now before we go into the tone and the density and size, one of the things that I really appreciated about this is that this gave me I felt like I had more control than a typical reverb pedal. And as a single guitar player in the band...
Wait, you're married.
Yes, I am. Sorry. Please don't throw rocks at me, Mrs. Wife. But it's just me. And a lot of times if I want to use especially any kind of modular effects or timing, based things, when I hit it, everybody knows it's on. And when I turn it off, everybody knows it's off. And so there's nowhere to hide in that. And a lot of reverb pedals don't compensate for that with the amount of control you have. And that's something I really appreciated about this. Not only that, but I was finding new kind of versions of what I thought reverb might be in its relation to how I'm playing. Whenever we've talked about this many times, Tony, it was like, if you're in a rut, don't pick up the guitar that you usually play.
Yes.
Start there. If you're in a rut, play a different drive pedal, or just play a whole different set of pedals.
Play a banjo.
Don't play a banjo.
An electric banjo.
But you kind of have to interrupt yourself a little bit, and you have to kind of give yourself a little bit of a shake up. And more often than not, you're gonna be like, oh, whoa! I because of these things, I started playing a little differently.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that is an additive element that you were trying to find,
That's true.
Tell us about some of the other goodies that you have on this, so we don't, go too far down into the rabbit hole.
Okay, we can go down. Yeah, so it's for your listeners that don't have this thing in front of you. There's really three main controls on this thing that describe the space that you're in. So the tone is whether it's bright or dark. The size is literally the size of the space. And then the density is like the nature of the space, like whether it's like simple and reflective or whether it's like nice and tuned. And so the size is like really the thing that is kind of tied to the idea of this thing as being like a plausible real world kind of space, right? So in a lot of other units, like you control the reverb time, and that's kind of gives you the sense of a bigger space, but it doesn't really always. And that some units do have a size and a reverb time control. But if you don't set them together in a way that makes sense together, you get really weird sounding spaces, right? So like you can't have like a room that's like 10 by 10 but has like a 10-second reverb time. Like that's not a thing. So the idea of like having just one knob that like the room gets bigger and the reverb gets longer and it's kind of proportionate to what things are like in real life, the way sound actually behaves. That was the idea behind that. And I think that makes it like really quick. That's one of the things that makes it quick to dial on, because you don't have to like be wondering whether you've set a bunch of things in a way that like sounds good together. They all just kind of move together. And then like in terms of like talking about like a reverb that has different densities, that's kind of a thing that like I don't think people really understand that well, but people who design reverbs kind of talk about a lot. So I think like guitarists are used to reverbs that are pretty sparse. So that would be like the density like way down on the chambers. There's like a lot of reasons for that. Like I think that sparse reverbs sound cool with guitar generally. They sound good even when they're a little distorted. Like if they're going into the front of an amp, like a sparse reverb still sounds cool with some gain in it.
How would you classify sparse?
Okay, yeah. So, if you were like say in a bathroom, with tile walls and it's square and you clap and you can actually hear that like shattering sound and like you can hear all the reflections. So that's what I would call sparse.
Okay.
And most pedals create pretty sparse reverb simply because they don't have like enough computing power to make something that has more reflections. And then a dense reverb is kind of like, you're in a real concert hall or like a real like recording studio room that's like been treated and has lots of, diffusers and like, furniture and statuary and like that kind of stuff in it, right? And you don't get those hard reflections. Everything just sounds smooth.
That must be an East Coast thing where there's lots of statuary in the record. Like there's a fountain over here. Watch your step.
So that's like it's like a Boston Symphony Hall thing. Like a lot of the like people who are into reverbs like talk about the Symphony Hall in Boston as
Okay.
being like the perfect sounding room, like for orchestras and stuff. And people like talk about the statuary and stuff sometimes.
Gotcha.
It's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, and so the thing is like that's like whether you want something that's really smooth or whether you want something with some reflections and some grit, that's context dependent, right?
Yeah.
Like on the instrument, the type of space you're trying to create or whatever, right? So there's use cases for both. And like some people, early versions of chambers were like all dents all the time. And when I had guitarists testing them, they were like a lot of times confused. They were like, it sounds like too much reverb, or I'm having trouble finding the sound I want. And I realized it was just because they were used to, those sparse reverbs, hearing those reflections and having that type of a sound. So, so I really tried to like have that whole spectrum of things available.
See, there again, if you're just looking at this, you probably wouldn't pick up on that. But gratefully, you have put this in the manual on the website, everybody. Go check it out. Let's talk about the size knob.
Yeah. So that's a fun one. One of the fun things about the size knob is it doesn't really like mess up the sound that much when you move it. So that's something that is pretty hard to do. Because like when you think about it, like if you're in a room and it was like growing and shrinking, like Alice in Wonderland, right?
Yeah.
It would go like, it would make like sort of like, like changing, the delay time on a BBD or something, right? It goes makes spaceship sounds and stuff like that, right? Or it sounds crazy. So if you have a whole room doing that, like the sound is kind of nuts. And so if you're like resizing all of these delays that are in the reverb network, then like you're gonna get that crazy swooping like spaceship sound. Which a bunch of people I'm sure would love that and play with it for hours. But that's not what we were trying to do on this one. So you do that, or you just say like, oh, okay, you just like kind of move the wall from here to there, and you get like a glitchy sound, right? It was just it'll sound all like glitchy and crackly and stuff. So, I think it was kind of a fun thing that you can kind of move that, and it's just sort of like the room just kind of changes size without like sounding too messed up. I think it's one of the things that makes it like faster to dial in, like because you can hear the size the whole time while you're moving it, so you don't have to like reset, play something, reset, play something, reset, play something. You can just kind of like keep strumming and like move the knob and get to where you want to go.
Yeah, that is an interesting function because typically if you're anybody that's messed around with reverb, depending on what knob you're going to get there, those like it just freaks out and you're like, okay, wait a minute. And that really does take you out of the minute or the moment. So that's a nice, thoughtful thing. And then finally, we've got the shape knob.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the knob. Sorry, that's a toggle.
So, yeah. So I mean, that's a little bit like a mode switch, but that changed the nature of how that worked. Changed a bit from the first version to this version.
Okay.
And may change a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But
That's a good reminder. You sent us the prototype for this, so like the two is this particular model is yet to be released.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. So the two does the same thing as the one. It just does it better, like in most ways. So it's more hi-fi and it's a more elegant algorithm.
Okay.
So it just sort of so the shape on that. So like the first position is just sort of like a natural room, which is kind of the place that it probably is most of the time. And then the middle position is the echo space position. And the thinking behind that is like kind of like going from an inside space to an outside space. So if you're outside, the echoes and reverbs are like really different, right? Mm-hmm. You get like, they don't build up and like stick around. Like you get like a kind of a really cool slap that comes from really far, and then it just kind of like disperses really quickly. Mm-hmm. So that's actually, and that's like I think like a really, I think it's a cool sound, but it's also like musically really useful to have that like sort of an echo that has like a lot of pre-delay, but it's still like diffuse, so it's not like a slap. Where you're getting like exactly the same signal like coming back, like you're getting a diffuse version of the signal coming back. Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't stick around that long, like it fades out really quickly. So I think for like players that play like really dense stuff, like really gainy stuff, you don't really want like a big long haul sound that's sticking around, right? You want just like some space, but you don't want to like clutter everything up, like if you're playing like heavy lines and chugging or whatever. So I think that setting is really fun because it still sounds like you're in a big room. It still sounds like there's reverb on your signal, but it's like really like articulate and clear still. So I think that setting is a lot of fun.
I like how you called it out that it is almost like as in a delay effect, because that's one of those things where it's like you're expecting what we all think reverb sounds like, but then you hit that switch and like, wait a minute, there's what a little bit different, and that was that's helpful to put it in the right space of headspace. That's what I'm looking for, those words.
Yeah. Like I think there's a lot of issues. Like you can use a delay for that effect, right?
Yeah.
Which many people do, but especially if like you're using an amp or like a loud amp, like you can get a lot of interference and a lot of like phasing with short delays, right, between your dry signal and the wet signal. It can really it can color your sound like quite a bit because of that interference, right? Especially for really short delays. And so in chambers that delay is so decorrelated because it's going through so many reflections. So it's not going to create the same interference that you would have with using a delay, and a slap application. So I think that's nice. It's going to be like a lot more articulate kind of sound.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see here. Constant density.
What is constant?
Yeah.
So that idea behind that is there's sort of a category of reverb algorithms that are called constant density. This is getting pretty nerdy, but like in an acoustic space, like the density of the sound keeps building up because things keep reflecting, and those reflections magnify each other, and it keeps getting like a denser and denser sound, right, as the reverb continues. a lot of reverb pedals, especially early reverb pedals, it didn't work that way. They used like a different kind of algorithm that would kind of make a bunch of reflections and then it would just kind of stay the same. Like a good example is like the Boss RV3, or like something in that vein. So it kind of makes like a reverb that kind of goes, but then it just goes like, and it's the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't like change at all, right? So that's like a constant density reverb algorithm. And I think it's one of those things that like it's not super realistic, but it's like really musically useful, especially for guitarists. And like a lot of guitarists are like kind of used to that kind of sound, or like that kind of sound. So
Yeah, you can really build up a wall of sound with that.
Yeah, and then the other thing with that setting is like the reverb time is longer, and like the space is a little bit bigger. So it kind of like, it's sort of like if you just want like a bigger than natural sort of reverb, that's sort of the place where you would hang out. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think the last feature that's worth that we should probably address is there's a USB-C port in here. What the heck are you doing?
It's technically possible for end users to update their firmware on this pedal.
Aha.
But my intention is for the pedal to be perfect when you get it, and for you not need to do that.
Aha. So are you thinking that this may not be on the actual final product?
Well, no, the port will be there. It's part of the hardware, but it's pretty much only there in case I really screw something up. And, like, guys, this is really bad. I want you to have a pedal that works right.
Right.
Here's what you're gonna do: get your computer, get a USB cable, fix this. So yeah, again, like, it's not like, some pedals have like an app and a bunch of stuff, and you can like plug it into your computer and you can change a million things on it. It's not that. It's just pretty much in case, like I said, I really mess something up.
In case of emergency, break glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, now hopefully we have sufficiently whetted the appetite. Probably not whetted. Whet the appetite of our listeners, because if all this chatter didn't convince you that this is a pretty dang fun pedal, I don't know what is. But maybe some of the clips that you can find out there, especially on his website, demos, go check them out. There's some really good ones.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When can people expect this to be available?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm really slow. It is coming along really well. Like what you have is pretty dialed in.
Yeah.
There are some manufacturing things I'm working through right now, basically, and then then it'll be coming out. So its final form, I'm hoping to show people at the end of August. There is a really amazing pedal show happening in Somerville, Massachusetts.
Wow.
Organized by Stompbox Sonic and by Cosmodia.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that will be really stacked. All the New England people will be there, and Earthquaker, and like a bunch of other people. So it should be awesome. So I'll be hopefully showing like the final form of this at that show, so people can check that out.
Awesome.
And then and then it'll be generally available sometime, sometime after that. Hopefully, not too long.
Okay. Are you still selling the Chambers version 1? If
It's
people
kind of
just can't wait.
It's kind of retired.
Okay.
It's kind of retired at this point. Yeah, I know it sucks. If you want one right now, yeah, I feel bad about that. But yeah, so all the like parts I have and all that stuff will all just be going into the second version.
Got it.
Into that, and there's another pedal in the works that you guys haven't played that'll be coming out around the same time frame.
Oh, really? Can you give us a hint?
Yeah. I'm pretty open with what I'm working on. It's not really a big secret. So it's called Planes, and it's a plate reverb.
Oh.
Oh.
So it's same like format as Chambers.
Uh-huh.
4 knobs and a toggle. But instead of a room, it's a plate. And
That's
pretty
great.
nice sounding plate. It's a pretty nice sounding plate, I think. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on inside it. That'll be coming out later this year as well. And then you'll have kind of like the full lineup of reverbs that you need to do pretty much anything at that point.
Yeah, I love that idea. I got to admit, I think more people. I probably, when getting into these conversations, I probably have run into more people who are really into plate. And that might just be because of the music scene that I'm personally in when we're talking about those things, not just, everybody, which is, it's a little bit more immediate response kind of stuff.
I think it's probably more people who are used to studio gear, I think, tend to like, or would be more in the plate category. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might be just making that up.
I think you are.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think there's a lot to like about a good plate, and so a lot of people ask me to make one. So, yeah, I mean, I think like, sometimes like, I think with a reverb that has a really clear room sound, a really clear spatial sound to it, it can be a little bit hard. It can be sometimes hard to dial in and fit into what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Because that spatial impression can kind of fight with other stuff you're doing, or sometimes the delay times don't work musically or whatever. Like there's a lot of things that can make it not sit quite right. And a plate like pretty much just like always works, you dial it in and it sounds smooth, it sounds nice. You can make it a little longer, a little shorter. And it just pretty much, it's just really easy to make it work. So I think why a lot of people like them.
Yeah.
Or you could just dig tunnels underneath your building like they did at Abbey Road and put speakers and things. Have truly natural reverb.
Yeah. Well, Max, it has been a delight learning about this. It's fun when you get to play with something and you get really intrigued and you like it, and then you're like, well, so what's up with this thing? And when you fill in the blanks, I just really appreciate that you were clearly very thoughtful about so many of these decisions, and I think that they are somewhat unique in as far as other things that we've come across just in some of those decisions.
Yeah, that's very cool. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. All right. Well, we eagerly await the release of this pedal, as well as plates or planes. Are you calling it planes or plates?
It's planes. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. We, be on the lookout for that, everybody. Remember, go to Reflective Digital, and you can learn all about the things that we were just talking about, as well as check out some demos. And, I meant, you do have a mailing list. See, that's why people have mailing lists, because if you go there and you join it, I bet you, am I willing, can I say that you're probably going to let people know that these are available?
Yeah, exactly. It's the mailing list is literally only like pedals are available right now. This is what they are. Like that's the only purpose.
See
of the
how all
mailing
this
list.
worked out? It's so smooth.
The power of the internet.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes. Yes, but it's not like, hey, like here's something that I thought was cool this week, or like here's a new moisturizer that I like, or something. No, it's like there are 6 pedals in stock right now for the next hour.
Gotcha.
Go buy them. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay, well, and hey, that's actually probably a good thing to note. You're not putting them. Are you putting them out in like pretty heavy numbers, or you build small batches? How do you do this?
Yeah, no, God, no. I'm building them by hand right now, so yeah, it's just me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the just me asterisk says when you get that email, you're probably going to want to pounce on this quick, fast.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Tony.
Yes, Todd?
We have a thing that we do.
What is that?
Would you rather?
Oh, Would You Rather?
Yes.
The game that we play.
Yes.
At this point of the show.
Yes.
That's right. Well, we've talked over the last couple of episodes here and there a little bit about Brian Setzer, right?
Yeah.
He's back.
Okay. Yeah.
He's back. He had a condition that he literally couldn't play guitar.
Right.
He's back.
Yes.
And the Stray Cats are going to tour again.
Yes.
So I was just reading, actually yesterday or today, in Guitar World magazine, there's an article about Brian and different things and some of his guitars. And he recently bought a 59 Flying V and a 59 Les Paul.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He said, I've been lucky that I've been able to accumulate enough money to...
Done some things.
I've done some
learned a few
things.
things.
I got some peoples. I traded in some of my some of my
Traded
Gretches.
72 of my Gretches.
Anyhow, interestingly, and this all ties together, I promise.
Oh, good.
He said that the Les Paul Standard, the 59 Standard, it just was the wrong sound for him, but he loves playing that guitar. But he said that the Flying V sounds like a Gretsch.
What?
You go and figure that one out.
What?
And I'll throw in with you. That's what the article said.
Okay.
And I think there might be, I think he plays it on a video online for Rumble and
So
Brighton.
59 Flying V, so it would have been the Carina.
Yeah. This is
It's like
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's not so many of those around.
No, just a handful.
Yeah.
So, well, since the Stray Cats are back to touring,
Okay.
and he obviously has to play a Gretsch on the tour. I mean,
That's the music.
Yeah.
That would be, yeah.
I mean, I suppose he could take the V out, but he's probably worried that he might drop it or something, and somebody might walk off with it.
Uh-huh.
So he can't use either of those two guitars in the Stray Cats.
Okay.
So through divine intervention, Brian gives you a call.
Uh-huh.
He says, look, I'm not going to be able to use these. We're going to be out on the road. I'd like to let you borrow one for a year.
Oh, my.
So you can borrow either the 59V or the 59 Les Paul Standard for a year.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Thanks, Brian.
Yes.
He's a nice guy,
Yes.
I tell you. So which would you rather borrow? The 1959 Flying V or the 19...
In Carina.
Well, yeah, it's a Carina V.
What's the...
It's I think
it's
it's
a
a
burst?
burst.
Okay.
Yeah, 59 burst.
It's a burst.
Yeah, burst.
Okay.
That's a standard,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah. Which would you rather?
Huh.
Borrow. You got to give it back, though, after
Yeah.
a year.
That's a very good question, Tony.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and kick us off. We'll check in with Max.
Okay. Well, I think both of these guitars would be a blast to have for a year, but I'm going to have to go to the V.
Okay. I'm surprised
And it
by that.
has nothing to do with. I mean, the value. A 59V is worth more than a 59 Les Paul Standard at this point in the market. Whatever. They're,
Well,
you
there's
know,
just more standards in there. Yeah.
yeah. And I just think having something that is that rare
Yeah.
would be cool to have and just a noodle on every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the V.
Okay. Good call.
Boom. Plus, it sounds like a Gretsch, I'm told.
Max, how about yourself? Which one are you doing?
Okay, I think to me, I think one Les Paul is going to sound like any other Les Paul probably for my ears. So, whereas a Flying V is it's like the height of rock excess, like guitar, especially one is worth as much as that one. So that sounds like an exciting guitar. I would definitely go with the V.
All right.
I
Two
think,
for the V.
I think we got a 3 for on this one. For sure. I'm definitely going with the Flying V for sure.
Would you change the pick guard?
Yes.
The gold sparkle.
Well, I wouldn't want to ruin the original one. Heck yeah, man.
Oh,
maybe not gold sparkle, but yeah, I mean that would be quite a treat.
It would be fun.
It really would be. Yeah. Now I don't. Maybe you can tell me this. I'm not familiar. Does that has the rubber insert in it?
Yeah, for
for the leg.
Yeah. So that you can play it sitting down.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder if anybody's ever played.
I've seen people
Yeah.
pictures of people sitting down with
Okay.
them. I don't know that.
Well, I don't sit down when I play guitar, so that's not a problem for
There
me.
you go. You're not an old blues player, apparently.
No. All right, Tone. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And thank you, Brian Setzer.
Yes, he's such a swell guy.
He is. All right, we need a few people. We have a few people to thank.
Yes, we do, Todd, because
Let's do
at
it.
this point of the show, there's a special group of people we love to thank. These are our executive producers, of course. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become an executive producer? It's quite simple. Head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate and become a sponsor, a friend, a hero of the podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win some really great stuff and help us celebrate our 10th anniversary and almost 500 episodes and 1 million downloads.
This is a heck of a couple of months.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're going big time. But I'm told there's one thing more in addition to all that great stuff. What would that be?
You get to have your name read on the thing.
Your name read on the thing. That's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pampas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Elad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer FX, John Sebastian, John Halverson, Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology, Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Brazen, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, Vader and Pedals, Caribou Gone, Ed Rossler, Andrew Fryette, Bob Claymeyer, and Chris St. George.
Yes.
Yes. But wait, Todd, there's more.
Oh, good.
There's a special group of executive producers. We call them our Grand Poobahs. These are the creme de la creme, the top of the heap, the A number ones. And they wear a fez on their head whilst listening to the podcast. It's the law. Sorry. So hopefully all the Grand Poobahs are wearing their fezzes right now.
I hope so.
Otherwise, we're going to have to pay them a visit. So special thanks to these Grand Poobahs: Anthony Jamalero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Pedro Vasquez, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wow Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs, Ty Barnes, James Castellano, Kenny Howes, Michael Coward, and Uday Ram.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, and thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you all for helping to keep this machine going, keep the wheels moving,
Keep this boat afloat.
keep the sail full. I can't. Let's just stop
There's got to
there.
be some more
Yeah.
of them.
We need to say a colossal thank you to Max Lord of Reflective Digital.
Yeah, thanks, dudes.
You are more than welcome. It was a pleasure having you on, learning all about your cool stuff. And where can you remind where people can go get these things?
Yeah, reflective.digital.
And sign up for the newsletter, everybody, because
There's new stuff a coming.
new stuff's coming, and that's how you find out first. Okay. Tony,
Yes.
where can people find you?
You can go over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do I do? I don't know what I do. What do I do? I make pick guards for guitars. How do you get one? Just shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do, what pickups you're using, what color you want, all the details. I'll make something special for you.
He's got all the cool stuff.
I do. Well, most of it. As Todd likes to say,
Yes.
it's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
Yes. Yes. You're going to get that tattooed on your back.
Yes.
Real big, like a shark.
I might get it on my bum.
All right. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram at Guitar Knobs. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a couple Would You Rathers. We would love some new Would You Rathers. We would also love to hear, like, hey, what you got? Did you get a new pedal? Did you get a new guitar? Tell us about it.
Let us know.
Yeah. Just reach out and we'll reach out back or something. Anyways.
We'll respond
I don't know
accordingly.
what that- Yeah. Hey, everybody, have a fantastic guitar week and subscribe. It'll be so fresh. You know how I told him that we were going to give him a new one. We usually don't do that for first-time guests, but a new shirt.
Oh, yeah. Usually we give them used shirts. I use them like when I wash the car and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. They're just, hey, you can iron anything out, man. It's really, really very easy.
That's a dirty, filthy lie, Todd.
All right. Max, where were you on the clap, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a doggo.
Here
Give
goes
me
back.
death.
It's Max. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Hey, Max.
Hello.
There you go. I imagine it's like getting on a horse and going, and it goes, right? But then
Yeah.
you get on this one, you go, and it like turns in a circle, and you're like, the hell?
This horse ain't listening.
Okay.
G.
There'll be like continuity and everything. So yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right.
That's my middle name. Continuity. No.
All right.
Oh, I thought he said perfect.
No, no.
Perfect was your middle name.
No, continuity. Duh.
Survey says,
we are live to you.
hello and goodbye.
And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.